Welcome back to the Bustier YouTube channel. In today's class, I'm going to teach you how to cage and flesh this Bustier that we see here. You can see this is the inside of the Bustier, and this is what it looks like on the outside. I use it to make a funnel corset, so that is why you cannot see it fully on the outside, but this is what it looks like on the inside. It's a very simple tutorial. I'm going to be taking you through how I was able to sew this and the tips and tricks that will help you in achieving a perfect caging. If this is something you like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. So there are simple methods that can make the caging easier for you. So if you want to cage, of course I'm going to be using this sewable boning. Okay, the boning that you can sew on, that's what we are going to be using, because we are going to be sewing it to this. So to make it easier, like I was saying, you should always go for a boning with smaller width. Okay, you can see this one is not so wide compared to what we have here, so you can see the difference that we have between the two. You clearly see that this is tiny while this is wide. So if you're going to be doing this caging, it is advisable that you do this. That's because it is smaller and it's going to bend easily. You know, there are several curves here, so it's going to make your work easier because it is smaller. So you go for this one. Okay, then apart from that, when you are sewing the straight ones, all these ones that are still straight, you just use it like that. But when you get to the bend, the ones that are bent like this, the ones that are curved, you can just try to even make this easier for you by just picking up the boning. You take your seam ripper and then just expose it a little bit. There are like these straws that are there. I think I have about 5 here, so I'm just ripping it a bit so that those straws will come out. So once you do that, you'll be able to see them. I think you can see them now. You can see I'm talking about these ones. So once you have them like this, you can hold it with something. I'm using a plier. You can hold it with whatever it is that you have. You hold just one of it. Okay, you hold just one of it. You hold it down like this, then after holding it, you start dragging. So you don't have to remove everything. But just the aim is just to drag it down a little bit so that it will be able to fold. Okay, supply is not holding it well. Okay, you can see it's already dragging down, so you can see. So you drag it to the other ones like that. So you just keep dragging it like that. By the time you drag it, it's going to bend more for you. I've cut out the one that I'm going to use to do this one, and then I have dragged it. So if you notice now, this one that I dragged is now longer than the other 4 that we have here. You can see it's longer than all of them. I don't know if the camera is focusing well. It's longer than the rest. Okay, so that's going to make it bend easily for me. If I want to sew this bend now, the way that it has this thing that it has bent to, I'm just going to follow it. So if I sew from here, you can see that it's already taking that shape for me. Okay, so those are the tips that I want to show you. So go over to the sewing machine now and we'll start sewing the boning to it. What we just need to do is to follow all of this line that we have already created. There is nothing new that we're going to be doing to this. Okay, so this is what we have when we are done. You can see I have caged this, and you can see the depth of the cup. So the next thing we're going to do now is to go ahead and flesh it. So to do that, I'm going to fold it outwards like this. So this is going to be the inner part that is going to be shown. So we are going to cage it so that it's not going to be too strong on the body. So I'm going to be using this fiber to do that, and I will use this hemming gum to attach it. Okay, so all you just need to do is to cut a little bit of your hemming gum. You're going to spread this on this that you have. I'm bringing my bust arm because of course you cannot iron a bust on a flat surface. So after spreading like this, you are going to lay this on it and apply your hot iron. This is a steam iron, so that's what I'm going to use to sew it. So you cut it around and then iron it. This video is already long, so I'll go ahead now and then fix this to it and bring it back to show us what we have. Okay, so you make sure that you keep ironing. Make sure your iron is hot. You can apply steam if you need to, so that it can stay well. Then you trim it around. So this is what I have now. Make sure you iron on the bust arm so that you don't have anything flat. You can see the depth that I have on this Bustier now. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to take it to your ironing table, your sewing machine, and then you're going to sew it close here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run a stitch like this. You place it right side facing right side, you pin it down, and then you sew from here. I'm going to leave this underneath to turn it. So I'm going to sew from here and then flip it over. Okay, so I've gone ahead to run the stitch, you can see. So you're going to notch it a little bit before you turn, because this fashion fabric we're working with is very thick. So I'm trying to notch it so that I can relax well, and I'm going to flip it. Remember, we are here to turn the lower part, so you are going to flip from there. If you see anywhere that is the seam allowance is too much, you can trim it off so that it's not going to be too bulky. So now we are going to flip. Then you iron. You can also place an hemming gun here so that when you iron it, it's going to lay flat for you. So you can see now that the neckline is neatly turned. So I'm going to iron it again. I'm here to iron it, and you can see that it is laying really flat and well for me. So I'm going to further iron it well. So this lower part here, I'm going to turn it with my bias. So I'm going to cut a bias and then use it to turn that lower part so that it can be neat. So I'm going to set this aside now, and then I'll start working on the body. So you can see that it is neat on this side. Like I said, you can use bias, but for me, the seam allowance that I have there, I just folded it inwards and then I sew on it like this so that I can have something neat. You can see that it is neat both in and out. So this is what it looks like on the inside. This is what it looks like on the outer part. So you can see I used this to sew a funnel corset That's why it is attached to something already. I hope you enjoyed making this beautiful tutorial with me. If you enjoyed it, let us know in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.